There's a lot of discussion right now about how this war is going to unravel going forward. Ukraine has not been very successful last year, so it's very important to understand what mistakes have been done in the Western sanctions policy, how to adjust them, what to improve in order to essentially more effectively support Ukraine and counter Russia's illegal aggression in Ukraine. Hi, I'm Maria Snegovaya, Senior Fellow for Russia and Eurasia with the Europe-Russia and Eurasia program, and I'm here to talk about my recent report with Max Bergman, Tina Dalbaya, and Nick Fenton, Back in Stock, the state of Russia's defense industry after 2 years of the war. We're basically looking at how Russia's military defense industry is doing 2 years into this war. The report is published a couple of months after the Second War anniversary, and we'll find that Russia's military and defense industrial complex is quite adaptive and has been learning some of the lessons of the first year of this war. Russia is not doing as bad as originally expected. Partly that is because of the sanctions circumvention and assistance from countries like China primarily, but also Iran, North Korea, which have been supplying large amounts of military equipment and munition. But it also because Russia has a lot of Soviet-time stockpiles, which is currently refurbishing, for example, tanks, munition, artillery, and sends to Ukraine. Therefore, Russia has proven certain adaptability, and chances are we'll be able to translate this adjustment into some battlefield successes. There's a lot of discussion right now about how this war is going to unravel going forward. Ukraine has not been very successful last year, so it's very important to understand what mistakes have been done in the Western sanctions policy, how to adjust them, what to improve in order to essentially more effectively support Ukraine and counter Russia's illegal aggression in Ukraine. Certainly, this resilience should be factored in when we think about the future of this war and more effective Western support of Ukraine. One big takeaway from our report is that the war will last for a while. Therefore, we need to brace ourselves and commit to longer-term support for Ukraine because this is not going to be over anytime soon. Also, perhaps some adjustments to how we envisioned contemporary modern warfare. This is very different from what many analysts anticipated. It's definitely not limited military effort, but instead a war of attrition, extremely consuming. Most importantly, we need, as I said before, really try and improve the Western sanctions in an effort, essentially, to ultimately have an effect on Russia's military industry, and in particular by reducing energy revenues that the Kremlin receives right now, as well as reinforcing export controls. The fact that the West right now, as our report shows, clearly is not doing enough to support Ukraine, to help Ukraine gain military advantage, is perceived worldwide in the countries of the global south, for example, as relative weakness of the West vis-à-vis Russia, despite obviously the incomparable economic potential. The West has much more. And we hope that our report will help Western policymakers to actually adjust their priors and hopefully commit to more long-term support for Ukraine. On top of collaborating with some of the top military experts in the field, including Sam Bandit, while writing this report, we're also leveraging unique global supply chain data in order to track Russia's general procurement dynamics. And we've been able to identify some interesting patterns, specifically when it comes to China's assistance in circumventing sanctions. We, for example, find that meetings between Putin and Xi are associated subsequently to an increase of imports to Russia of particular types of supplies. Now we know why they meet, but there's much more. So I really encourage the audiences to check out that data. To read the full report, Back in Stock, the state of Russia's defense industry after 2 years of the war, please visit csis.org.